The Interface Manager and Tooltip UI help you bring in more ability to your game quickly. So the Interface Manager, to begin with, you don't have to immediately include it in your scene. It will, on its own, start off with defaults and place itself into your system if it is called for. However, if you place it into your system, you can select the direct items that you want to use. For example, there are multiple types of tooltip available, and you can create more on your own. So you could select the white on black instead of the black on white, which we'll do now. And then we can also set our interactor UI and how it responds to things. Whenever you use UI components, whether it's the interactor UI or a tooltip or other component in GDTK, it places it on its own canvas so that it doesn't block any other interaction. So let's go ahead and start real quick, and we'll see that a new canvas is created immediately on startup, and this is placed on sort order 999. So if you did need to have something on top of this for some reason, you can just update the sort order to be 1000 or greater. And you can see that the canvas scaler has been applied, which is on the Interface Manager, and you can do however you like on this to fit your system. The default is 1920 by 1080 scaling. So now let's go ahead and look at what the tooltip looks like. So by default, the tooltip will come up based on the display delay, which is 0 in this case. You can also override that on an individual item. For example, this one takes 1 second. And by that way, the way that second does not add up, it restarts every time you exit. So you can see it always takes the full 1 second. You can also respond to events, such as entering or exiting with your tooltip. The tooltip offset tells it how far from the cursor to put the tooltip. We'll go ahead and change this right here, which is going to require a restart. And the reason it requires the restart is it actually creates that tooltip and reuses it the first time. So we can go ahead and update, say, the Y offset here, and now you can see it goes above that cursor a little bit instead of below it. Or we can set it directly underneath the cursor. Now the other nice thing about this is, as you can see, it's resizing. It'll resize to your text automatically. It will be perfect every time. The only thing to keep in mind when you're creating this, so we'll go ahead and look at the prefab, is we have some padding on the text mesh per object, 16 to the left, 16 to the right, 8 to the top, and 8 to the bottom. And so we add those together and have 32x and 16y padding. If we did not have that, so let's go ahead and zero that out real quick. We're going to see that it doesn't auto-size because there isn't the proper amount of padding added. So if we just go ahead and replace that. You can also set the maximum width and height of the tooltip, which is a good thing if you don't want it to be too long, or maybe you don't want it to be too tall. Now, as for actually implementing these, we'll go ahead and look at the content here. We'll switch back to 2D mode, and we'll focus on immediate response. And in here we see an image that has a tooltip client, and that's all we really need to do. So we just place in our text, and since the modified delay is 0, it adds 0 extra seconds and displays immediately, whereas the 1 second delay adds 1 second. And of course the events down here is responding to the on display and on hide events. I hope you find this useful. Until next time.